Not surprised at all. It's who he is. It's who he is. I've always thought that he's a horrible person, and this is every bit of proof.
Baltimore boxing champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis faces new abuse claims from a woman who claims to be his ex-girlfriend.
Tank is done. Tank is hung him up, shoes off, get the bag, put a plaque up, he done.
Promotion. November 14th, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis has officially been canceled. I know that we all speculated that it would be, and I was pretty much for sure that it would be canceled, but now we have official confirmation.
The boxing world is stunned as Leonard Ellerbe breaks his silence on Gervonta "Tank" Davis's shocking arrest, the incident that officially canceled the highly anticipated Jake Paul versus Tank Davis fight. What was meant to be the biggest crossover event of the decade is now over, as Tank's legal troubles once again derail his career.
10 or so most valuable promotions. The promotion co-founded by Jake Paul and Nikisa Bedarian posted this on social media. They posted that they were officially canceling the fight, saying most valuable promotions immediately initiated an investigation. No, I had the wrong one. Okay, I'm reading this one. Most valuable promotions and Netflix have announced that Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis, the one I was reading was the one from late last week, originally scheduled for Friday, November 14th at the Kaseya Center in Miami, Florida, will no longer be moving forward. Quote, "Our team has worked closely with all parties to navigate this situation responsibly," said Nikisa Bedarian, CEO of MVP. "While we will not be moving forward with this event, our plan remains for Jake Paul to headline an event on Netflix in 2025. And that is what I'm hearing as well. They want him to fight in December. That is the hope. And they're actively looking for a opponent. More on that in a moment. Details regarding a new date, location, Jake's opponent, and additional bouts will be shared as soon as they are finalized. We thank Netflix, Kaseya Center, Seminole Hard Rock and Hotel and Casino.
Ellerbe, longtime promoter, former CEO of Mayweather Promotions, and a central figure in Gervonta Davis's career, has finally spoken out, calling the situation beyond repair. His remarks were firm and final, stating that Davis's ongoing legal troubles make the Jake Paul fight not just unlikely, but impossible, and that the boxer's standing in the sport may now be in real jeopardy. In the wake of the cancellation, reports reveal that Jake Paul's camp has extended a formal offer to Ryan Garcia to replace Davis as the new headliner. Sources close to the negotiations confirm that Paul's promotion, Most Valuable Promotions, reached out to Garcia for a potential bout in December. However, insiders note that Garcia's existing contractual commitments could pose serious challenges to sealing the deal.
Man, it's just wrong. So as of today, November 2nd, this fight is still technically scheduled for November 14th to air on Netflix, but it's basically hanging on by a thread. But the team, Jake Paul's team, have reportedly gone and contacted all the fighters, and the names that they're looking at contacting to fight as a late replacement: Ryan Garcia, Terence Crawford, Francis Ngannou, I mean, come on, we'll get into them, and Nate Diaz. So he's already fought Nate Diaz, but let's go through them one by one. I mean, Ryan Garcia, he's a similar size to Gervonta Davis. He's bigger though. Davis made him come down, didn't he? Then he beat him up. So that was Ryan Garcia. Quite a bad loss for Garcia, that was, because he was up for the fight, but Gervonta Davis beat Garcia. Garcia also isn't really big enough to be jumping in with Jake Paul, but that's a fight that potentially could happen. Garcia is a massive name. He's a big he's a social media star. He's a big public figure. Loads of followers on Instagram and social. I mean, his Instagram's over 1 million, I'm sure it is.
Rolando Romero unleashed a fiery rant after the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight was canceled, accusing Paul of chasing spectacle over real competition and vowing he'd slap him around if they ever fought. He also took aim at Ryan Garcia, calling him untrustworthy for dodging their rematch clause, claiming boxing fans are done with talkers and want fighters who actually show up.
Announcement. I want to let everybody know I'm going to slap Jake Paul across his face because, first and foremost, man, I'm tired of this YouTube boxing stuff, man. I really am. I am more tired of this YouTube boxing stuff than everyone else, man. Oh, let's make this happen, bro. I'll be ready in a week. I'll be ready to slap Jake Paul across the face in a week. I will slap Jake Paul across his face. But who cares? I don't care. Roll over Jake Paul 2025, bro. I knocked out another YouTuber. I knocked out. But Jake Paul gets knocked out cold.
Oscar De La Hoya shut down rumors that Ryan Garcia might replace Gervonta Davis, confirming no such talks took place. He stated that if real negotiations were happening, he'd announce them himself. De La Hoya added that Garcia is focused on other plans, reminding fans not to believe every rumor.
Asking me about Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia. Let me just tell you why this fight is not going to happen. Ryan Garcia fights for DAZN, and Jake Paul fights on Netflix. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line. Golden Boy has a contract with DAZN. Ryan Garcia has a contract with Golden Boy. And that's just the way it is. I mean, this is business. You know, Ryan Garcia's probably going to go on a rant saying, oh, you're keeping me from making money and this and that and fighting. No, you have to go by the law, by the rules. You have a contract with DAZN. You have a contract with Golden Boy. It just doesn't happen that way. So anyway, until next time, we'll see you Saturday for Virgil Ortiz. But again, Ryan Garcia's next fight will be announced.
Most Valuable Promotions, MVP, confirmed that fans who purchase tickets through official platforms like Ticketmaster will receive automatic refunds within 14 to 21 days. Those who bought through resale sites must contact their vendors directly, as automatic refunds may not apply. In their statement, MVP assured fans their commitments would be honored following the event's cancellation. Meanwhile, sources close to the promotion revealed that Francis Ngannou has emerged as the top contender to replace Jake Paul's opponent, with talks reportedly underway for what could become one of the most explosive crossover fights in recent boxing history.
Live globally on DAZN. First off, I'll say kudos to MVP for refunding people that did buy tickets to this event and also navigating this thing with professionalism, which they did the entire way through. You got to give them credit for that. They really stayed quiet on the rumor front and just handled things as a professional company. That's all you can really ask for. Jake Paul has, in the last couple of hours, tweeted idiot, and then God has a plan always. Two things that I think are both referring to this fight. First off, calling Gervonta Davis an idiot, I assume, and then obviously, you know, God has a plan always, referring to this thing is probably going to work itself out. Obviously, this video is dedicated to talking about future opponents for Jake and potential fight dates. I do have something that I don't know if it's misinformation or not, but I'm just going to talk about it here. This is a tweet from somebody named ATalkers5. I don't know how realistic this potentially even could be, but this is from 4 hours ago. They said two of the female bouts scheduled for Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis undercard are now scheduled for December 4th.
Francis Ngannou, who shocked the world with his boxing debut against Tyson Fury and later faced Anthony Joshua, remains one of the sport's biggest global draws. Jake Paul's camp viewed Ngannou's knockout power and star appeal as the ideal solution to save the canceled event. However, Ngannou quickly dismissed reports linking him to Paul, stating he would never take part in what he considers a publicity stunt. After fighting elite opponents like Fury and Joshua, Ngannou said that facing a YouTuber turned boxer would disrespect his skill and legacy. He urged fighters to honor their craft rather than turn it into entertainment for clicks. Fans widely praised his professionalism and honesty, agreeing that a Paul versus Ngannou matchup made little sense competitively or financially.